Hi, everybody. I have a really juicy topic today, and that is why men cheat. And first of all, I want to apologize for not pre-announcing this Facebook Live. I completely flaked on it yesterday, but I hope that you'll enjoy the video anyway, and I will be more diligent about getting that announcement out there. So why do men cheat? I'm sure lots of people have ideas about that. Why did my husband cheat? That's an even better question. That was a question that haunted me for years after my divorce. I just kept wondering, did I do something to cause it? Was it something I did or didn't do? What is it like? Is there something, do I have a flaw that he could see or other people can see that I'm just blind to? And I don't want to, I definitely did things in my marriage like that were challenging and frustrating to my former husband, things that caused tension and disappointment. Everybody does that. But what I realized is that has nothing to do with whether a man chooses to fix or leave a relationship. What I discovered is that it didn't matter what I did or didn't do, or if I was perfect or terrible. It didn't have anything to do with me personally, but it had everything to do with me being a woman. What I discovered is that men cheat for cultural reasons. In our culture, men are not held accountable for cheating by other men. Other men will assume it's your fault, whether that is their friends, their business associates, or the courts. They'll assume it's your fault, that something was wrong with you, that were things you did or did not do that he didn't like or that he couldn't deal with. Men cheat because the culture tells them they're entitled to see women as something for their use rather than seeing women as human beings. And we all know that we are human beings. We have our own needs, wants, desires, strengths, weaknesses. We have our own lives. And to be viewed as something that a man fits into his life rather than a person with their own life is a very difficult, it's a very challenging point of view to have anything that resembles a healthy relationship. So men cheat because they aren't required to leave the relationship in a respectful way. Now, I know most women know that men will be very respectful in the beginning when they're trying to court you or woo you or, have sex with you. But they aren't required to leave a relationship in a respectful way. They're not required to face their own emotions about leaving a relationship, their own disappointments about leaving a relationship, or their own financial losses. They're not held accountable for the quality of the breakup. And I think this was long, long overdue. They're also not held accountable to break up before they start a new relationship. So things are pretty bad And instead of figuring out how to break up in a quality way, in a way that preserves each person's dignity, they throw gasoline on the fire by bringing a third person into it. So I'm sharing this with you today because I want you to think differently about the men you meet and decide to date. I want you to understand that all men have cultural permission to cheat as long as they can make it look like you were somehow at fault or the cause. And a lot of men will say things like, she's not affectionate, as a reason for them to cheat, or we haven't had sex in a year, that's why I cheated. That is not why he cheated. He cheated because it's okay. There are several choices here. Cheating should not be one of them. One of them is just, if we're incompatible, we're incompatible. Or if I am doing something that, is making my partner not be receptive to me, then, I have a choice. I can address that. But cheating that's not a viable option. It just makes things worse all the way around. So I want you to think about the power imbalance so you don't get cheated on and framed for it. So can you see how this cultural pass that men are given keeps women walking on eggshells in their relationship? So if you were taught, like a lot of women are, like I was, that you should center a man in your life and center your relationships in your life, you are going to be like such an easy target to be manipulated, because the quality of those relationships is going to be directly connected to you and your skill and what you do or don't do. And it just really lets everybody else off the hook. So that's why women blame themselves when they've done nothing wrong, because they think, oh, well, I'm the one who's supposed to make this all work. You can, but it's not rewarding. So can you see how men have more power in relationships? Because in the back of their mind, they know they won't be held accountable for cheating. Can you see how women are easily manipulated because they're taught to center men and relationships in their lives? These are serious questions. That's why I'm repeating them. They're not, they're not simple questions. This is like really what happens to women, how women get scapegoated for stuff like this. So what can you do to lower your odds on being cheated on? A really good place to start is just to assume that all men will cheat given the right circumstances. And of course, remember, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Nothing to do with you. You could be amazing, you could be terrible. That's not it. Because a man could easily just say, instead of cheating, this isn't working for me, here's why, here's what I can do about it, here's what you could do about it, and it's your choice whether to do that or not. So just realize that that's a thing. This is a thing in our culture. And then the next thing is to just give yourself credit for all that you do. Women do not get the credit that they deserve. They do like heroic and Herculean things every day, especially emotionally, mentally and emotionally. I mean, if you just walk out the door in this culture, you're already doing mental and emotional work. This whole world is designed from a male point of view for men, our cultural interactions. you'll get mansplained to, talked over, all kinds of stuff. And there's a cumulative effect to that. Even like, you know, looking at magazines and like body positivity and acceptance, there are so many messages out there that will chip away at and make you think you're not doing enough. So give yourself lots of credit. You know, if you get yourself dressed and you walk out into that world the way it is now, give yourself credit. You know, it's not, imagine walking out into that world as a white guy. That whole place is designed for you to succeed, designed for you to get what you want in life, to, you know, be a leader, whatever. That's not the case for women. So give yourself a lot of credit. I give you a lot of credit. Okay, what else? Okay, and when you're in a relationship, don't center the man or the relationship. It should be like this wonderful thing in your life that supports you and helps you realize your potential as a human being. You should have your own vision for your life, your own goals, your steps that you take to realize that dream. And of course, give yourself credit along the way. So that's the second thing you can do. And that doesn't mean, I mean, even if you do that, that doesn't mean men won't try to scapegoat you. But what it does mean is you'll see right through it, which would be really good. Like one of the things that was so devastating to me after I found out about my husband's affair was how, in retrospect, I could see everything that I had missed. That is a really overwhelming emotional experience, to see that and to realize like what I didn't see. And the reason I didn't see it is because I was centering him and centering relationships. If I had been centering my life and my vision for my life and my goals, I definitely would have seen that stuff right when it was happening. So if you're really attracted to someone or you really want to be in a relationship, it can be hard to tell if a man might cheat. That's why I say at the beginning, just kind of really realize that that's a real possibility. However, what you can do, like the ace up your sleeve in this thing, is to realize that your feelings always know the truth. Now, that could be kind of hard if you're having some conflicting feelings, like you feel like you're getting close to having a relationship and it's something you've wanted for quite some time, or you feel super attracted to a person. But if you're having like other feelings, those feelings are trying to tell you the truth. Like if you feel bad or desperate when you're not together, or having anxiety over when and whether he'll contact you, those are your feelings trying to protect you from being in a situation that's not going to support you to reach your full potential and will likely make you very, very unhappy and depressed, even, anxious. And that's what I teach at the Emotional Intelligence School. I teach how to tap into the wisdom of your emotions so you can create your own happily ever after. And if you'd like to learn more about how to do that, you can PM me, Susan Gerard, or you can send me an email at fluid, F-L-U-I-D, integration, INTEGRATION @gmail.com. And that's all I have this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Aloha.